Hello, and welcome to our quick tutorial for our brand new feature in Quizsmart called Quizsmart. So to reach all of my assessments, I'm going to click on the assessment filter, and you'll notice we have a new gamified version of our traditional quiz in the platform for all of our quizzes. Quizsmart is a competition style quiz that you can actually play with your students. Your students do not have to be logged in to Quizsmart in order to play the quiz. So let's click into Quizsmart and see how this is going to work. The first time you pull it up, you will see some quick tutorial directions that will help you get started. And then you'll reach your home screen for creating groups. You can either create your groups in advance, or it's very simple to create your group on the go. I want my third period class to take their quiz now. I'm going to click Generate Code. I have my code come up. I click Create Group, and here is my new group that I just created. When it's time to launch the quiz, I'm going to select Go, and it comes up with a screen that you can project to your students to be able to get them to join the quiz. There's also the option here to change your response time to several different options, and you'll see how many of your students have actually logged in. So let's look at this from a student's perspective as well. The student is going to go to play.edusmart.com, and they come up with this screen where all they have to do is enter their code, their first name and last name, and then they have a choice of what avatar they want to use, and click Join the Quiz. Now it shows that I have one student logged in, and here's my name and avatar down at the bottom. So once all of your students have logged in and you're ready to go, you're going to click Start Quiz. It's going to give your students this response time, and then they can read the question and answer and click Submit. So here I see I have one student who has submitted the answer. It's going to let that 15-second time run out, and then it's going to show me which was the correct answer and how many of my students got the correct answer. If I wanted to, at this point, have that whole group discussion or more of an interactive discussion, I could click, why is this correct? And it's going to give me a little information about that. I'll go on to the next question. This time, to show you an incorrect response, it says the component that is not used in photosynthesis is. We'll click carbon dioxide and submit. Again, one student has submitted their answer. We count down the clock, and it's going to show glucose was the correct answer, and I answered carbon dioxide. So you'll see exactly what the response was. The student also sees their correct response and what they answered. If your student does not answer, they let that 15 seconds run out, or however long you give your students to answer their question, they will also see that it turns orange and that they have a slash mark showing that there was no answer on that response. The top 3 students will be displayed at the end. So let's skip now to the end of the quiz. So as we reach the end of the quiz, you can tell how your students fared on each of the questions. And then when we get to the last question, let's say plants are not an indirect user. Again, I can go through all of the why is this correct on each response. And then at the end, it's going to show exactly how each student did. I answered 6. I got a 60 out of 100. I am in first place, and I can show the report card as an instructor. This allows me to see exactly how many of my students got this answer correct. I can even look at a detailed report to see if the students are missing a question, maybe what is the distractor that's causing them issues, so I can clear up any misconceptions that they have. And then the student is actually able to see where their responses were as well, so they know exactly what they scored. Once I click final results, it's going to show the top 3 students. Again, scoring is based on who answers the most answers correct in the fastest amount of time. So it's going to show what their score is and how quickly they answered on average each of the questions. The students will also see their results for those same categories, their average time, how many they got correct, and their position on the leaderboard. At this point, if you want to keep the data for this quiz, it's very important that you click the download student report, and it will download an Excel spreadsheet that has all the answers or all the data that you need for your students. Otherwise, this data will not be saved. So you need to make sure that you're clicking the download student report at the end of the quiz. And once you've done that, you can click finish and it will take you back. If you wanted to run it again, we would go back and do your smart code and start the process all over again. So the new Quizsmart is available for all of the quizzes. It is important to know they are the same questions that we use on our other quiz formats, whether you do it in print or whether you do assign it out to the students on their individual devices or through Quizsmart. They're all going to be the same questions. So that allows for a lot of support for your students and the different ways you can use the quiz. Again, students do not have to be connected to the EduSmart LMS. They just have to be on a connected device and they can log into play.edusmart.com. And then you at the end will need to download the teacher report in order to save your data. We hope you enjoy this new feature and enjoy having some fun with your kids. Thank you so much.